Well, welcome, picture book lovers and curious people who might get into it. Uh, we're gonna be doing an unboxing today of a beautiful picture book because I love picture books. So, let's see what we have in here. Shall we? Let's do it. This is a book that I've been wanting. I had already opened it. I just, kind of cheating a little. But I didn't open the actual book. But yeah, I opened the box and then I kind of held back to do this video. But yeah, unboxing. There you go. Put books away. Here's the book. Yeah, this is a book by an artist that I indefinitely adore. She's my favorite, and I'll tell you a little bit about her in a little bit. But I think you might not love it as much as I do, but it's one of those things that you can't not like. It's cozy and nice, and it's beauty. And it's a special artist's work. Actually illustrating some of my favorite authors' stories, Hans Christian Andersen. And she has outdone herself like a master. And she has many books out, illustrating a lot of different other artists. Authors. But I really wanted this one because I love Andersen, and I wanted to see what she could do, what my favorite illustrator could do with my favorite author's work. Look at that. Look at that. So, Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales, selected and illustrated by Lizbeth Zwerger. And here's a beautiful medal that she did not get for this book. This is the Hans Christian medal that they give out, I believe, yearly. Not sure, but she got it. In fact, she got it for as a whole for her whole career, for her lasting contribution to children's illustrations. So I suppose they put this in all of her books because she got that. That's not easy to get. I want to get that. Every illustrator, I think, wants to get that. But yeah. And look at this. It's just, this is how I found out about her actually. I saw this artwork in Google somewhere, and I was taken aback. I was transported to La La Land. I don't know. It was just magic. Like, there's something about it. I was like, that's something different. That's something that speaks to me. It has like my sensibilities as an artist. My work I can see my work a little bit in hers, and the feeling. Anyway, so here's the book. A little bit about Lizbeth. She was born in Austria, in Vienna, in 1954, and She studied applied arts at the Academy of Vienna, but did not finish her studies. She was a college dropout. And then she married an English artist named John Rowe. And through him, he was a cool husband, boyfriend, etc. And since he was an artist, an accomplished artist, he inspired her, you know, like, get going, girl, you know, you don't have to go to college, whatever. You should go to college. College is great. But if you can't, you still have your talent. And, you know, that's what he instilled in her. Like, he pushed her to be the best that she could, even if she wasn't going to finish college, or she couldn't, or she didn't feel like it, that she had to still do her magic. So she was inspired by her partner, and also by artists that she loved from the 19th century, which inspired actually a lot of her work, like Arthur Rackham and what's the other guy? Arthur Rackham is a big one, her big influence. Edmund Dulac was also one of her big inspirations. They're like the two big daddies of the golden age of children's illustration. And she was always very inspired, kind of like I am inspired by her and by some other people she's inspired by. And she always wanted to kind of try it. You know, kind of not mimic, but kind of walk the path that they walked through their style and come up with her own, and she definitely did. I believe that she really has a blend here of minimalism, of good positive and negative space. She does a lot of that. It's not like you get a lot of information, but it's not busy. It's so serene and yummy and soft and just sublime. And so yeah, her husband, John Rowe, this artist, he inspired her and pushed her to do her first children's book illustration. And the rest is history. She's done everything. And she's won all kinds of awards, and she's world renowned. And she, like I said, she received the H.C. Andersen Medal in 1990 for her awesomeness. And is Lizbeth Zwerger. Hans Christian Andersen, he's just, what can I say? You know, he's my literary dad. When I write, I think of his stories. He's my biggest inspiration, and I think he's not just an author, he's also an artist, an illustrator, because he paints with his words. And it's such a beautiful marriage with this artist, Lizbeth Zwerger, and Hans Christian Andersen. Kind of like-minded people, like-minded artistic subtleties brought together to make this sublime thing. And so, without further ado, let's go into what the artwork looks like. Hans Christian Andersen, Fairy Tales, selected and illustrated, or she selected these because she is Lizbeth Zwerger, she can select. Because Andersen has like 100 and something stories and poems and short stories and novels, and the guy was busy, so she picked like 5 or 6 stories for this book. I'm guessing her favorites, and this is what she did. We have the Sandman, The Emperor's New Clothes, The Princess and the Pea, The Tinderbox, The Rose Tree Regiment, The Naughty Boy, The Jumpers, and The Little Match Girl. And first is that story, The Sandman, this one. This is a rendering of one of the passages in Hans Christian Andersen's The Sandman. It's a fairy tale for children. It's not the scary Sandman. A sugary Sandman version. And see all the negative space and then her work. It's so nice. I'm sure she also has pretty good knowledge in graphic design. I don't know if she laid this out, but it complements her work, her style. Here we have a man with a hat, a little 19th century gentleman with a big hat. Look at this, just scrumptious. Here's a haunting picture. I don't know why it is haunting to me, but it is. I actually have this picture framed in my kid's bedroom. I had to have it in there because it's just such a childhood icon to me. The child at night going into dreamland type of thing, escaping, being disobedient or whatever, escaping into a picture frame and going in there and having adventures, etc. And this is the Sandman helping him up. I love this woman here, kind of looking at what's going on, probably gossiping with this one. Oh my God, look what that child's doing. Blah blah blah. That's just lovely. And the colors, the color palette, and the space, the negative space. Negative space is just like her work is also therapeutic. I find it serene, calming. If you have anxiety, things like that, her work, I think, is one of those good things for that, aside from pills and whatever. It certainly helps me sometimes when I want to just clear my mind. I look at her work. It's not the only thing that I do for that, but this is one of the things. Her work, as far as art, helping me cope with anxiety. Her artwork just has that chamomile, that visual chamomile that helps me relax. And look at this. See how she does the subjects, right? We have a stork, a couple of geese, turkey, chickens, and the rest is just kind of implied. You know that this is the ground and something's back there, and she just throws some color in there. It's all watercolor, but she outlines and puts definition on the figures. Not so much. They're still kind of light and soft, but they're definitely the focus. And then the background is just this dreamy splashes of watercolor. Again, her negative space. So calming. Look at this. Look at the colors. They're match made in heaven. Color palette. Look at this. Big example of her positive and negative space vibe. Love that dress. The dress is like the whole thing. It's the dress, then all this negative space, and little sprinkles of details here and there, but negative space is just winning. It's like the base of the whole thing. And then these are like, I don't know, little kisses. Her pencil work is very dainty, soft, and she doesn't go crazy or heavy. Like how gorgeous. This is still the Sandman. The fairy tale, the Sandman. Look at that. So elegant. It looks so easy. So effortless. But to come up with something like this, to have this kind of effect, you need to think things through for sure. And know what you're doing, and know color, and know space. And this is another one that I consider kind of like one of her masterpieces. Something about it, just so calming and elegant and nice. Like a cup of sweet tea in summer. And here's the little macaroon. The Emperor's new clothes. Good. Get the Emperor half naked here. Her work also has even though it is simple and sort of minimalistic, it has a very classic, sketchy, sort of Victorian air to it. Princess and the Pea. Here's a princess on a pea. So cute. Look at all this space. And look at the pea. It's like whoosh. Love it. Gorgeous. Look at that dress. Whoosh. Her eye goes to the dress. And the rest is just air. Space to float. The Tinderbox. I love this story. This is one of my favorites from Andersen. Tinderbox. If you have a chance, definitely read it. Check out the book. A good picture book for it. I don't know if she has one. Well, she has this one right here. These pictures. I don't know if she has a standalone book for the Tinderbox. It's a cool, funny story. It was Andersen's first story ever, by the way. The Tinderbox. Look at this. She could have done the whole forest, all the trees and all kinds of things, but she didn't. She's like, people know that there's a forest, people know that there's rocks and stuff. So like, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the tree, which is a big icon in the story because there's treasure inside it. So there's the tree, and there's a soldier who's the protagonist in the story. There's a witch. So she's rendered, he's rendered, the tree's rendered. Little hints of more trees back there, and she's done. The rest is just hazy, dream-like, fairy tale-like, because it is a fairy tale. Oh, can't help to love her. Look at this. I won't even say anything about that. Look at that. Love the whole the Rose Tree Regiment. And we have, I forgot what these are called, but they're the ones that suck the sap out of plants. You know, ants bring them to the plants and they suck the sap out of the plants. Forgot their name. They're cute, at least when you draw them like this, they're cute. But when you're growing plants, they're not so cute because you know they can destroy a whole crop of whatever. They can destroy a collection of plants, or they're not good for plants, but they're damn cute. He's holding a rose, and she dresses him like noble people. Love this. The girl here, we have Rose, the dog. I don't know the story, so I'm guessing the dog is important. And that's it. And the rest is just negative space. A little hint of a curtain, hint of a window, and the space, and she's done. She wants you to focus on the rose, on the roses, on the girl, on the colors again. Match made in heaven. The Naughty Boy. I read this story a long time ago. I remember it quite well, but I know it is about Cupid actually murdering people. It's like when he throws his arrow, instead of making people fall in love, Andersen portrays it as he kills people with love, because love is painful, etc., etc. So you see people here kind of dying up, you know, from love. Here's a little Cupid. It's such a strange layout, but it works. And again, it's peaceful, and it's harmonious, and it's great. The Jumpers. He's a doggy on a cushion with a flower, with a rose pattern. Oh, and a cricket. Here's a king and a queen, I guess. Look, the queen has a hat that has a castle on top of it and trees. Awesome. And the cricket. And she got all that intricate stuff, you know, the hat and the castle, and you know, all those, what you would consider, what could easily be, it could, you know, most people would do this and it would come out busy. But she manages to do this whole thing with the castle on top of her hat or whatever she's wearing, and the king with all of his dressings, and it's still simple. It's still all, you still have all that negative space. And you get to appreciate the details. And lastly, one of his most famous stories, The Little Match Girl. It's a very, very sad story, but also very beautiful and very hopeful. Here are the matches, which is like, you know, a lot of these fairy tales have icons. Cinderella's story has the slipper, Beauty and the Beast has the rose, and the Little Match Girl is the matches. Very smart. I remember the story, and at the end, her dead grandma takes her to heaven. I won't spoil the story. You should look it up. It's an amazing piece of literature. And here, it's almost like the negative space is her dress. I know it is the blue, But I don't know, the blue for me here is a positive. And just lovely. And I think we're done. That was it. Here's a photo of Lizbeth and her little bit of water. And that's the end.